Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Crocoin. Before we do, we jump into Bitcoin and see what's going on over there. Not much to note here from Bitcoin, just some typical sideways action after the sell-off. This is pretty standard stuff. We can see this happen time and time again. The key takeaway here, though, I just want you to note, is that on the one-day candlestick, we pretty much have we see this happen a lot, right? So we always see a green candlestick followed by a red day, right? It's that natural knee-jerk reaction of wanting to add to your position when the price comes down. So this is probably the dollar cost averaging, the people putting their whole entire bag in when the price comes down just a little bit, right? Whatever the case is, that's what happens here. So don't get your hopes up in the fact that the price is just going to be shooting back up to 60,000 tomorrow. This is a weekend. Things move a little slower on weekends. But the fact of the matter here is that we have a pretty decent opportunity to be able to increase your average, right? So make sure you dollar cost averaging with Bitcoin and Ethereum both, and make sure that you're kind of adding to your portfolio, because I think it's important in the long run. But Bitcoin is where it's at. I think we're going to see Bitcoin probably start to recover the next week or two. I think that's very likely. And to my community members too, I'm going to start sending out signals very soon. Probably I would say the first of the month, early next week rather, just to, make sure we're on the right track. But I do think that 52 to 53,000 is probably the lowest we're going to see the price go. So therefore, I'm going to feel more comfortable sending out those signals. So I do greatly appreciate your patience. And sometimes you just kind of gotta kind of take it easy for a moment. You can't just force trades, right? You'll never see me force a trade, and that is ultimately, I think, what is a good quality in a trader. Okay, so try to remember that. So if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining me here. Of course, not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes, right? But I love teaching. I love helping people understanding how to become better traders. And I've been trading myself for a very long time, over 15 years now. And my goal is to help you become more self-sufficient. So check out my trading community if you get a chance. We have new slots available on the 1st of December. We're a little bit maxed out right now, but we will definitely have some opportunities soon. That being said, we're going to look at Crocoin here on the one-day chart first and kind of work our way down. So simply put, the moving averages are null and void at this point. We'll look at shorter time frames to identify what that looks like, but those are not important right now. What's important here is that the RSI is creeping up closer to 70. Now, normally you'd say, hey, that's overbought. That's not a good thing. Well, RSI is interesting because it works as a support and resistance level sometimes. And right now, 70 on the RSI could essentially be that 83-cent mark that we're trying to break through. So we'll see soon, obviously, if that were to happen, but I would basically just say that these indications here are not super important. I would say we're going to want to look at the 4-hour chart to identify that more. So in other words, let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour chart right now and see what that means, okay? Because the RSI on the 4-hour, I think, is more relevant. And this is awesome. Take a look at this here. You can see two things forming. This is great news. We've got, first of all, the RSI is back up over 50. And you can see that it worked as a support level. The price came up, came down, and bounced, right? That is awesome. That is really what we want to see on the RSI and the 4-hour chart. That gives us a strong bullish indication that the bulls are in control. Second thing to imply that is this MACD potential convergence here. Look at how awesome this looks. We have a really strong potential for this 12 to intersect with the 26 in an upward fashion, and that would effectively converge the price, basically saying that the bears have lost control and the bulls are in full control. Is that shift in momentum that occurs, and those are things you want to identify, right? A good trader will understand more specifically what side of the scale that you're on, right? If you're on the bulls or the bear side, because trying to chase a bottom is never ideal. You want to get in when the bottom's already been established and the bulls are essentially dominating the market, right? It doesn't have to be a full-on domination. You can literally scalp trades 5, 10, 20% at a time based on that sentiment alone. But what I'm getting at here is that the MACD is basically telling us that we have a very strong chance with the price is going to converge here, and that gives us a significant buy signal. So we've got two awesome things here. MACD converging on the 4-hour chart. We've got the RSI working as a support level at 50. Two really good things. We also see that we broke above this resistance level at 73.5 cents, and we got this little bounce that occurred here as well. So you can see that the price comes up, came down to test, and continued upwards. That's the same thing we see in the RSI, right? That's that relative strength in us telling us that the price is not considered to be oversold or overbought at this point. It's a good value. That's what people see. That's what the sentiment is, essentially. It's a great way to identify that. So again, all good things here. Let's take one last look here. We're back up over the 50-day simple moving average. It pretty much worked as a support level. So if you had added to your position at 66 cents, like I'd recommended, and 70 cents, you'd probably be in pretty good shape right now. So I hope you're able to dollar cost average over the last couple of days, because that simply put helps a lot, right? Don't put your entire bag in at once. Just do little bits at a time, and you'll be very happy you did. All right, looking at the Ichimoku cloud, let's see here. We aren't quite above the cloud yet, but keep this in mind. As soon as we do, that would be an indication of a buy signal because we got the price, we got the lagging span here, right? This is the lagging span, this green guy here. And then we've also got the baseline, which is below the conversion line. So these are all good things here. In other words, these are 3 check marks out of the box. The only thing we are missing right now is that the price being above the cloud. So here's what we want to do. As soon as the price breaks above the cloud and converges on the MACD, we take entry. That's essentially what we're looking at. Now you could be asking yourself right now, why don't we take entry right now? We've got all the buy signals. While that's true, there could be some random rug pull that could happen to reverse the price action for us, okay? And what I mean by that is simply put, we're not out of the cloud yet, so that's not that 100% confirmation. I would say we're about 90% confirmed, though, that this is a strong bullish trend and that the price should continue upwards, at least to nothing else, if nothing else, to at least the major resistance of 83 cents. But knowing Crow in the past and how well it performs, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that increase further throughout the weekend, based on a simple fact that this is a weekend, people got paid yesterday, people are trying to recover from the dip, and a lot of money is coming from other places and going to Crocoin right now, okay? So all good things there. Let's take a quick look at TD sequential and see. Looks like we probably got a reset, which is great. Yeah, we got up to an 8, and then we reset back down to a 1. So we hypothetically have about, what, 7 to 10 more hours worth of bullish momentum, okay? So that's a really good sign. So all good stuff here, really. Ultimately, I think Crocoin has a strong potential to do very, very well in the near future. We could very well see it break its all-time high this weekend, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. You know me, I'm more conservative, but let's go ahead and go with the best case scenario. And let's just say hypothetically the price were to continue to increase and we see this continuation, right? If we see that continuation, what we could see is the price increase perhaps another 60% from its all-time high. And we could see $1.50 in the relative near future. And when I say near future, I'm talking about maybe about 2 weeks would be a better case scenario, just to be very realistic, right? That's conservative, but also liberal in a sense, right? I think that's a good blended average. Now, will that happen? I don't know. I mean, the pessimist in me doesn't want to think that it will because we got to break the all-time high, and we got a lot of ground to cover first. But say we break that all-time high and the price, comes above and then closes right here. Just say we get the price to close and it dips, then we're good to go. That's essentially what we're looking for. Because more often than not, you'll see the price break an all-time high, come back down to test it as a support, and then once it's established as a support, it'll continue upwards. So we're going to take a closer look at this here again soon. I may even take a look at this here later today after that convergence on the MACD and see where we're going. But I really see nothing bearish about Crocoin right now. It's not considered overbought. It is essentially at a perfect point in which we should be considering either adding to our position or waiting to see when it breaks above the cloud, because as soon as it does, we get that buy signal, that big picture awesomeness, right? So all good things here. We've got basically 1 3/4 rainbow, right? We'll have a double rainbow as soon as the price breaks above that cloud, okay? So pay attention to that. 1 hour Ichimoku cloud, make sure the price is above the cloud here, right? As soon as it breaks above, we are good to go, ready, set, rocket. So for lack of better terms, you could consider dollar cost averaging right now and probably be okay, all right? I'm just glad that I did right back here, right around, what, 73 cents and 66 cents. Like I mentioned before, adding to your position in those lower, every time we hit a newer support level is the best way to go. So heaven forbid the price doesn't come up right now, comes back down to the support here at 73 or 74, that'd still be a great consideration of a buy signal. All right, so I hope you found benefit here, of course, today. If you learned something new, comment below. If not, that's okay too, maybe next time. But I do want to thank you so much for your time. We'll look forward to seeing the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.